Good evening, everyone. It's good to be back. I just came home from my holiday in Taiwan, which was excellent. The food was great, the people were amazing, and I really like Taipei, so if you've never been, I can recommend it. But now I'm back in Japan, and it's time to make some more Tekken content. I just literally downloaded Goose Master like 5 minutes ago, and I jumped into the game, so I've not paid any attention to like all the information that is coming out in terms of frame data and like combos and stuff, because I just want to go in fresh and get a fresh, open-minded look at the character. But then over the next couple of days, I'm obviously going to be doing a lot of homework, learning the character more intimately, and then we're going to do full tutorials and so on. But for now, I just want to mess around and check him out a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to mention is that I feel like his backdash is actually very, very good. He really travels, so if you're good at Korean backdash canceling like this, you're probably going to be able to get a lot of mileage out of that. Looks like a very good backdash. And yeah, just overall, I feel like he moves very smoothly. He feels extremely agile, so he's going to be great in the hands of people with good fundamentals, which is always interesting. And then I want to go into his move list. So basically, he has. I just had a quick look. He has like standard like sort of Street Fighter style specials in terms of like he has a quarter circle forward fireball. He has a double version of that you perform a quarter circle forward 2, which is this move. And then he has quarter circle back 1, which is another one of his specials. He has quarter circle back 2, and then he has like a series of extensions to that. So he has quarter circle back 2 1, which is a natural combo and a knockdown like that. He has 4, which is a low sweep that looks kind of slow and probably very punishable. And then he has 3, which is a non-natural mid that seems very, very safe on block. I'm going to assume that's useful for floor breaks. And then he has this like, what was it? Yeah, this is quarter circle, sorry, half circle back 3. That move. And what I'm doing is he has this move which is forward 1, right, which is like one of his main moves that he special cancels out of. And I'm doing it out of that right now, but he gets like a natural combo for huge damage. What I'm trying to say is that he has these kind of like standard specials that he can cancel. You know, he can cancel into fireball out of jab, much like Akuma and Eliza and stuff. I'm not gonna talk too much about that here because I feel like I need a lot more frame data to be able to like say something interesting about it. But when you come down to and these are all his max mode moves, by the way. So I'm just gonna mention quickly that, you know, if you press 2 plus 1 plus 3, you can see he does this. He yeah, I don't know, he makes a snowman with his hands. And you go into max mode, you can see he has a blue bar that is decreasing above his gauge right now. And in max mode, all the special moves that I showed you earlier have all these special properties and become different somehow. And we don't know, or I don't know, I should say, exactly how yet. So just be aware that that is max mode, and the way you use it is like you press those 3 buttons, he activates max mode, and then he has that for the duration of the blue gauge, which is decreasing, which is cool. And then before we go into like all the standard moves, I can mention that he has he has air fireballs as well, which are performed by doing a quarter circle back 1 or 2 when he jumps. You can do it while jumping forward, you can do it while jumping back, and you can do it out of a neutral jump as well. And he does this like little bounce back, which is pretty cool, meaning that you can probably be super defensive and stall with this. And you know, I don't really like zoning in fighting games. It's not a thing that I appreciate, so I'm hoping it's not going to be too easy to play defensively with this, but we'll see. And yeah. But yeah, let's go into like his sort of Tekken-ish moves down here, because that's what, you know, kind of my bread and butter, and see what we can find out about them. So we have a standard jab here. Let's make sure that we've got second action all guard, so we can tell if something's a natural combo. So this looks like a standard 1 jab. I'm going to assume that it's 10 frames. It's special cancels, but you don't get guaranteed stuff. That's not guaranteed. Okay, so you can get for 10 for the out of the jab if you cancel the quarter circle back 1, which is this move. that looks like it's a natural combo, so this is potentially very powerful 10 frame block punisher if the one jab indeed is 10 frames. So you can get, I'm assuming, a wall splat for your 10 frame block punisher, which is pretty cool. Okay, so that works. 22 damage, yeah, that's pretty good. It's kind of similar to like how Eliza can cancel the normal one jab into one version of her Shoryuken, but not the more powerful versions. So that's cool, you can do that. And then moving on, you've got 1-1-2 apparently. Okay, so that seems natural. So this is probably going to be your more standard option for a 10 frame block punisher. Looks very similar to like a Mishima style 1-1-2. Main difference obviously being that you don't get a knockdown. And the damage isn't huge or anything, but it seems completely natural. So this is going to be your 10 frame block punisher most of the time, I assume, if you're not doing you know, that thing. It's only one more damage, but it looks like a very standard option. Yeah, it looks very nice. I like it. It seems good, but it's not crazy. It's not doing all, you know, these crazy things. It looks like a standard Tekken 10 frame block punisher with some above average damage, so that's pretty cool. And then we've got 1-2, 1-2-1-1. Okay, so that's like a long jab string. Reminds me of like Leo has stuff like this. It looks like that's okay. So the first two hits, so 1-2 is another potential punishment tool you have. And that seems natural, but then the one and the one, the third, after the third hit, it's no longer natural, so your opponent can block. But you can potentially do some stuff with this when you're like mixing up finishing the string and not finishing the string. Let's see if you can maybe delay some of the hits. Yeah, it looks like the third hit is kind of delayable. Which is what you want in a string like this, because it's how you mess with your opponent's mind when you're applying them. It's something that works really well when you're playing like Bob. But yeah, that looks cool. And then you've got 1-2-3. Okay, so this looks super dangerous because it's like a big high that seems very duckable. Okay, but the 1-2-1 is mid, and then that's the high. And I'm assuming that yeah, because it looks it's his forward 3 basically out of the jab string, and you can get wall splats with that and stuff. Again, kind of standard, doesn't look too powerful. Then you've got 2. Is this special cancelable? Okay, so you can cancel it into the back 1, and I'm assuming the back 2 series as well. And you can get that natural, so that's pretty cool. And then let's see if you can get yeah, and you can get a half circle back 3 series off of that natural as well. So that looks pretty cool. But it looks as though if you try and do like a fireball, yeah, okay, you can do a fireball. Alright, oh yeah, okay, so that's how this works. So basically if you press, so this is forward 1, right, and it's one of his main tools for creating like special cancels. It looks like you can actually get that out of the 2, so you do 2 forward 1 and you get this. That's natural, and then you can cancel that into all of his specials, so you can potentially do some really long special cancel strings with this. Like what would be a good example? He has that thing, right, so let's do yeah, that's all natural for really good damage. So that's pretty cool. So you can do some crazy stuff if you're able to connect this too. And you do the forward 1 extension off of it. And you can cancel that into any specials you want. That looks potentially very powerful. So yeah, I'm going to assume that 2 is another very standard tool for creating special cancels and doing all kinds of stuff, especially combos with Geese. Then we've got 3-3. It's a very Tekken-y move, reminds me of Lee, so it's like a high mid. It looks like a natural combo. Honestly, looks like a little bit of a Punisher. It doesn't have great damage or anything. Obviously don't know how fast it is, which would be very interesting to know. But it's like a high mid, kind of unremarkable, potentially useful, I guess. I don't really see how though. It's probably not a great move. But it's much better to be mid-high than to be... sorry, it's much better to be high-mid than to be mid-high. So that's something the string has going for it, definitely. And we've got 4. Okay, so now you have a spin move, and it looks like it's a homing move as well. It looks like a very fast high. Yeah, this looks potentially very good. So this is a good move. Let's see the wall splat. Yeah, so he has the wall splat right there. And I'm guessing, yeah, this is something that you're going to use in combos for spinning. Looks like it might... Okay, yeah, so you get a combo and counter it. That's cool. So it's very similar to standing 4 from Elisa, actually. It really reminds me of Elisa, and that's a great move for her. She also has a normal standing 4 counter hit launcher homing spin move. That's high. That's cool. It's probably not going to be like 11 frames because that would probably be a little bit too powerful. So I'm going to guess that it's going to be somewhere around maybe 13, but we'll see. 1 plus 2. Okay. Is that special cancelable maybe? Okay, wait. It looks like I like accidentally performed his FADC there. Okay. Okay, so that's let's see if we go into the move list if it actually says how to do that. It doesn't. It might come later. But for now it looks like it's not special cancelable or anything. But it looks like you can use that to access FADC with him. Potentially very important, but I simply can't tell yet. And then we've got 4-2. Okay, this looks pretty interesting. So it's like a mid, and then you get tacked on high for extra damage on hit, pretty much. Yeah, okay, no, you still get the 2 hits, so that's 4-2. Knockdown. So it's a knockdown mid, basically. Completely natural. It doesn't look special cancelable or anything. Okay, and then on hit 1, 4-2 on hit 1. Alright, okay. What a cool move. This is really cool. So when the second hit hits, you press 1. It's not like a just frame, it's really easy to perform. I'm going to try and mash it out. Yeah, you can even mash it out if you want to. It's another powerful knockdown tool. I'm gonna assume it gives the wall splat. It does. Okay, really cool. I really like this move. Don't know how useful it is. It looks like it might be a good whiff punisher. Moving on, you've got the 4-4. Okay, that looks pretty standard. A very long range sort of knockdown mid. Doesn't have power crush properties. It looks like it might. That's a potentially powerful wall splatting tool. It looks very minus on block though if you compare the recovery animations there, so yeah, it's probably punishable. Forward 1 plus 2, oh yeah, so yeah, this move people have talked about. They're basically calling it Geese's hop kick. Doesn't look like a hop kick to me at all, but I think what they mean is that it's a low crushing mid launcher basically. It doesn't look like it's 15 frames, it looks a lot slower, so it's probably more like an orbital. And then you're supposed to be able to get a combo off of this on normal hits, so I'm guessing you float them with something. Okay, yeah, so you can just float them with a jab, even though there are probably better options. That means you can get a standard combo off of this. This looks very good. The range is massive. Let's see if it hits from out here. That would be crazy. Okay, what about here? Okay, it does. So that's really good. It's a very long range move. It's like a super long range orbital and you can get a combo, so I'm assuming that's going to be very, very important and very, very useful for the character. Then we've got down forward 1-1. Okay, so down forward 1 by itself I'm very interested in because it's like my favorite notation in the game, and it looks like his might actually be a pretty standard down forward 1, which I think is great. I'm going to assume it's 13 frames. It looks about 13 frames. And then it has a 1-1 extension, so it's mid-high. Unless that, if it jails, it's kind of like Katarina. If it doesn't, it's kind of like Miguel. It would be good if it jailed. But it is natural, 18 damage. But the down forward 1 by itself is the important part here. Looks very cool. Oh, okay, that's fair. So you got the 1-1, and then you got a mid-high, but then you can do the down forward 1-4, and you have the chunky mid there. That isn't natural, but if they duck, you can mix that mid in. If they try to duck the 1-1, you can mix it up with the down forward 2-4. So that looks pretty good. Let's see what that does on hit. It's another powerful wall splat option he has, so it's pretty cool. Little mix up there. Down forward 2. Looks like a very long range mid homing move. This looks extremely useful. It gives that weird spin stun, so I'm going to assume wall splat again. Whether or not this is safe on block is really going to dictate the usefulness of the move, but if it's not too punishable, I'm going to call this very useful. And yeah, it is both homing and a spin move, which is great. But like homing mids that wall splat are so good because of how people really like to move sideways at the wall to get away from it, and that's how you catch them with a homing move and get the wall splat. So very, very cool. Down forward 3-4, low into a mid, non-natural. The down forward 3 by itself looks like a very decent low poke. Looks like it has decent range, kind of low damage. Looks very, very fast, so that's probably a very good low poke with him. Okay, down forward 3-4 tilde 2. Alright. Okay. So like you can do the down forward 3-4, but then you can fake that out, and then you can do like a chunky delayed mid like that. That's really cool, actually. You can get that's cheap. It's like a built-in like delay. That looks really cool. I really like that string. Down forward 3-4 tilde 3. Okay, so he goes into his forward 3 there instead. Don't know what that might be useful for. Doesn't look too useful to me. Down 1. I guess that's a down jab. Down 2. Another down jab. Yeah, and one down jab, the previous one is special cancelable, so it feels very Street Fighter-y. Down 3-1. Okay. Okay, and you can still special cancel that, so that's cool. So yeah. Let's see if we can do a special cancel off of the down 3 by itself. Okay, so it looks like you do down 3-1 and then you go into your special move. Interesting. Down 4. Oh wow. This looks like a really good low. Wow, this looks like a really good low. Okay, yeah, this low is going to be amazing. This is going to be such a good move. The range is massive, the crush properties are massive. It looks really chunky. Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic harassment tool. It looks so good. I'm calling it right now. This low is going to be crazy good. I don't know the frame data just yet, but unless it's like punishable, this is going to be such a good low. Oh, and it's special cancelable as well. That's crazy. Okay, yeah, this is going to be super good. Wow, yeah. But just for like a harassment tool and like a low poke, that's potentially extremely powerful move. I'm gonna call it. This is like the best move we've seen so far. Down forward 1 plus, down 1 plus 2. I've heard this is like a snakeage for him. I don't know what he can get for guaranteed damage off of this, like how you would pick your opponent up. There's probably a way. Maybe you gotta like full crouch cancel, I don't know. But it looks, even if you don't do it, if this is hard to react to, because it's kind of like a punch, it's gonna be a potentially very powerful low just by itself. It knocks down, it gives great Oki position with face up, feet away. Kind of reminds me of down forward, what is it, 2+3 from Leo, which was such a powerful move for her that they actually nerfed it. Then we've got back to 1, it's like a natural little high mid string. Might be useful in combos. Doesn't look like you can get it off of that. What do you do? Do you do that maybe? Okay, yeah, whatever. Let's think about that later. That's a good little natural string. Really reminds me of the same notation from Katarina. It's probably a decent little mid-range whiff punisher for not too much damage. I wonder how fast it is. If this is looks like it might be pretty fast. So if it's 11 frames or 12 frames, I can see this being his block punisher for damage for 11 or 10 or 12 frames. It's pretty cool. Back 2. Okay, so it looks like just a very chunky, sort of slow knockdown move. It looks like it should be a little bit of a backswing blow, but he doesn't swing back all that much, although his, yeah. And then, yeah, I've seen that he can cause these really like wonky, bouncy wall splats. This might be one of the moves that does that. Yeah, you can see that. That's going to be super significant for the character, I assume, but it's a kind of wall splat that we've never seen before. Back 3-2. Okay, that looks like another whiff punisher. Back 3 actually really reminds me of back 3 from Claudio, which is like his best mid poke. This might potentially be very interesting. Does it do anything on counter hit? Okay, it doesn't launch or anything. But yeah, I can see that being a combo tool, definitely. There you go. And then maybe you, like, I don't know what you would spin with. But that looks really cool. It's natural, it knocks down. You might be able to get a guaranteed low or something, who knows. That looks very, very good. Back 4-4, another spin move. Okay, so that's a low hitting spin move. That's actually very interesting. So maybe you could do stuff like that, I don't know. Yeah, but that's a spin. Good stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, it's obviously not natural, and the second it is a duckable high, so that's gonna be dangerous if you get it ducked. Running 1, so he has a running 1. That looks pretty good. Looks like kind of like a running 2 from some characters. Whether or not this move is really useful is obviously going to depend on whether or not you're able to get like any plus frames on block or anything, but you do get the wall splat. You know, it could be something along the lines of Kazumi's running 2, God forbid Dragunov's running 2, who knows. But for now it looks like it might be a combo ender and a wall ender, potentially a fast whiff punisher from a long range. And then the frame data is going to dictate whether or not it's good. So while standing, we've got while standing 1. Looks like a little mid. Let's see if it does anything on counter. Not really. While standing 2. So while standing 2 is not a launcher. While standing 2, 4-2. Okay, so it turns into like a powerful throw. If that's a punisher, that's going to be powerful. How much damage does it do? So you get 35 damage. So that's cool. While standing 3, another spin move. Standard stuff. It's high though. Could have been mid, looks like. While full crouch down for 1. Okay, so that looks like your standard launcher from full crouch. It looks like a while standing 2 for most other characters. Pretty cool. Sidestep 3. Oh wow, this looks like another great low. Wow, this looks like another great low. This looks absolutely amazing. Look at the range of that thing. The damage is really chunky too. If you know about like Sidestep 4 from Claudio, this looks like it might be something like that. This looks like it might be actually even better. I don't know, it might not have like good tracking. Yeah, Sidestep 3 looks like an amazing, amazing low poke from Sidestep. Yeah, this looks absolutely crazy good. jump 1, and yeah, and then he's gonna have the jump moves, right? So jump 1, jump 2, and I'm assuming that he can get like, you know, combos when he hits with some of these as well. I'm gonna check that out later when I know more, but yeah, okay, so let's see here. Yeah, so you can see you can get guaranteed follow-ups after that. That's jumping 4, so that's a potential launcher. Okay, that's the taunt, so we're nearing the end, I guess. 1 throw, very standard. Long range 1 throw, 2 throw, because that's the cool throw where he makes lightning hit you, and the extended version of that. Okay, and yeah, and then it's side throws. And these actually don't seem like they have any sort of special kind of animations, which almost all other characters have, so that's sad for Geese. And then he has back 1+2. Okay, so that's like the same thing that he did kind of off of that, right? I'm gonna guess that this is like his 1+2 break. Looks very, very cool. Be interesting to know the properties on this. If you can get anything guaranteed, if you can wall splat with it. Down forward, oh yeah, so he can throw people who are lying on the ground by using down 1+3 or down 2+4. That's super cool. Potentially like super nerve-wracking to stay on the ground against Geese. Okay, what's this? Okay, that was his normal 1 throw, right? Am I not performing it right? Let's go into the move list and see. Oh, right. So this is where we get into his like parry stuff. Okay, okay, there it is. So like I've heard that he's supposed to have like a high version. That looks like the high version. Okay, and then that's like a mid version. That doesn't seem to do any damage though. Maybe you get something guaranteed. Maybe you get a mix-up, kind of like Chloe. And then that's the low version. And that looks like you might even be able to get guaranteed stuff after. Which I think you should if you like completely ball or low parry low like that. You should be able to get some damage and get some stuff. Oh, and then we're into combos. Let's see if we can just try and perform these before we wrap this up. So yeah, so that's like I said earlier, you can like do 2 into forward 1 and then you can special cancel. Okay, so that's like a little combo. 2, forward 1, and Reppuken. Maybe you can get a double as well. It looks like. Yeah, okay, so that's decent. Down forward, oh yeah. So full crouch down forward 1, 4. So I'm guessing that's the, yeah, that's the standing for spin move. And then half circle back 3. See if we can get that. Okay, not great damage, you can probably get a lot more. But it's interesting to see like he's doing kind of like a standard Tekken thing right there where he's launching from while standing, he's doing a spin move. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the combo tech develops. While standing 2. Oh, so you can get a combo off of this? That's crazy. So what do you do? While standing 2, forward 2, forward 3. Okay, yeah, you can combo off of that. That's so crazy. And then what's the? That's back 4-4 for the spin, and then 2 forward 1 Reppuken. Okay, this is going to be hard to perform, but let's see if we can do it. Okay, that was almost it. Let's try again. What am I getting instead there? What's... Okay, it's because I'm doing 4-2 instead of 2, so you need to go back to neutral before you do the 2. Got it. Did it again the wrong way. So again, almost it. Okay, yeah, that was it. Oh, come on. I want to get this now. I'm getting annoyed. There it is. Sorry that took me so long. You know when you get like, you can't perform a combo and you really want to do it and you get stuck. That was not great damage, and it was not really hard to do either. I'm betting there's a lot more like interesting stuff you can do there, but it's really interesting to know that you can actually get a launch off of while standing too. Cross up and then do good damage here. So very, very interesting. And what do we have next? Back 3-2. Okay, this looks crazy. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so you FADC and then you can spin off of that. That's really interesting. So that's how you FADC with him, then you do the, you go into max mode basically. Okay. And then I don't know what you get at the wall. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So back 3-2 is actually a launcher. Can you spin even if you don't use the FADC? Okay, you can. So that's probably required to turn that into a launcher. Interesting. Oh, and then a jump in combo, which I'm like notoriously bad at, so I'm not even going to attempt that one. Let's just have a look at it here. Again, if you're a Street Fighter player, this is probably something you do in your sleep. That did great damage, however, so you can do the super for an ender there. Looks like that super takes 2 bars, by the way, so you know he goes from 3 to 1 right there. Alright, is that it? Okay, so it looks like that's it. Again, guys, I'm sorry this didn't have like any super useful information or in-depth stuff. I'm a complete amateur when it comes to characters like this, but the few like really techy moves he had, like his down forward one, and you know, like a bunch of it, he has amazing lows. Like it looks like his low game is gonna be crazy. With like down 3 looks like Elisa's down back 3, which is like a famously good low. Down 4 looks insane. It can special cancel. Sidestep 3 looks absolutely baller. For the 1+2 is like a long range orbital kind of thing, and you can like combo off of that. And then all of like the special stuff and things like that is something that I know so little about that I just need to study up before I make more content on it. But for now, he seems very, very good with movement. He seems very Street Fighter-y, apart from that, the fact that his bar functions differently and he has the max mode. But yeah, I gotta say I think I like the character, but again, these like 2D style characters are not something that appeal to me on like a level where I might, you know, main the character. But I'm definitely gonna try and learn more about him and bring you a full guide sometime soon. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of it, and look forward to more content on Geese where we actually go into depth and explain, you know, how some things actually work mechanically. But for now, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much, and bye bye.